Hello, Badass Human. My name is CQ. I'm a vocal coach, vocalogist, singing rehab specialist, and a vocal producer. So pretty much I'm just a giant nerd when it comes to all things vocals, and I'm really excited to share with you some ways you can take care of your vocal health, you can warm up your voice, and you can become a stronger vocal athlete. So let's get into this. Let's do this. All right, so we're gonna start out with some vocal stretches. Oh, I want you to think of yourself like a vocal athlete. Athletes use their muscles, their ligaments, they use their body, right? Singing is the same thing. So we're gonna take care of your instrument right now. So just follow me, try this out. Take your hands, make a little butterfly, put it on your collarbone. I want you to slowly jut your jaw forward, lift up to the ceiling, and pull your shoulders down. Make sure you breathe. We always forget to breathe when we stretch, when we focus. So really just starting to connect to a super important point of our voice, which is breath. Awesome. So it takes 100 muscles to sing or to speak. So we're going to get into those and we're going to loosen up everything so you have more freedom, more power. While you're up here, I want you to stick your tongue out. Let's get weird. Stick it out. And then you're going to move your tongue side to side. Keep breathing. Awesome. And then circle your tongue. And just do this. I know it's so strange. And then reverse the other way. Awesome. Put your tongue back in. Continue to jut. And very gently, I want you to start looking from side to side. Stretching your throat, stretching your larynx, stretching your jaw, and come down, kind of just moving in your freedom. Awesome. Then we're going to go into a side stretch of your head. So you're going to take your hand, put it over your head, find your eyebrow, pull your head back. Take your opposite hand, and I want you to put it on your shoulder, and you're going to pull down. Continue to breathe. We're going to get a really nice, beautiful stretch on the side of your neck. So thinking, oh yeah, it makes sense. My instrument is my body. If I'm stiff from touring, or if I've been sleeping on the couch across Canada, or I've not gotten sleep because I'm up at 7 a.m. for a radio thing and going to bed at 2 p.m., or 2 a.m. after a show, we really want to open up our body. We really want to take care of this part of you. Breathe. And for any guitar player out there, a really great stretch as well is sticking out your arm and just flipping it to one side. So you're going to stretch the ligaments there. So try that out. Continue to breathe. Awesome. Same thing, swap sides. Put your hand over your head. Find your eyebrow. Slowly, gently pull back. Put your opposite hand on your shoulder. Pull it down. And breathe. So if you think of other instruments, right, we drum, we do paradiddles, we are a piano player, we stretch our fingers, guitar, we warm up our fingers. Vocals are the same. They are your body. We use our body. So think about really taking care of every part of your instrument. We only need to do about 5 to 7 minutes of stretching, so it doesn't have to be a lot. Awesome. Opposite hand, I want you to stick it out and flip it up as well. Continue to breathe. Rad. Okay, look straight ahead. Last thing for your neck and for your head is we're just going to put our hands behind our head, kind of like you're about to do a sit-up. But then I want you to take your thumbs and put it on your temple. You're going to pull straight up on the back of your nape, on the back of your skull. You're going to lift up, and what we're doing is we're elongating our neck. We're making room and space for our larynx, for our voice box. This is where your vocal folds sit, and we want it to be super open. Breathe. Nice. All right, let go, shake it out. So for me, when I'm coaching artists, it's not about being stiff and being perfect and trying to be super by the book. It's actually about vocal freedom, athleticism, and really letting your body be in freedom instead of being in perfection or tension. So everything today, I want you to be loose, because on stage, you're probably not just sitting there like this, right? You're probably rocking out. You're probably moving around. So just be in that part of you, be in the artist self of you. We're gonna go into a pressure point that releases the back of your jaw as well as opens up your range and relaxes your throat. So you're gonna take 2 fingers, you're gonna put it behind your ears, and you're gonna find this little divot, this little hole right at the back. So if you can't find it, move your jaw a little side to side like this. And press in really with some intention, with a little bit of pressure. And I want you to kind of get back there under the jaw. Most people hold a lot of tension here, so you're gonna feel some interesting feelings right now, but just release it. Breathe. Who knew you could just do a bunch of weird stretches and work your voice? Amazing. So if you're watching this, you can always pause and go longer if you feel really tight somewhere, all right? Then what I want you to go into is the front. So our jaw is very important for singing. So you're gonna very gently slack your jaw, open it up like this. You're gonna take your knuckles and you're gonna find that space where your jaw connects. You're just gonna dig back and forth and circle. And most of us clench our jaw, like we clench our teeth at night. We have some sort of level of tension in here. So we want to release it, especially as singers, speakers, anyone who's using their voice. But pretty much, if you're a human, you hold tension here, so this will feel really good. Continue to breathe. Amazing. And then we're gonna go into definitely a weird one. You're gonna start pinching your cheeks. You're gonna massage your face, getting into all the muscles required to make resonance. So I want you to think of yourself like an acoustic guitar, right? We create sound at the vocal folds. Air pushes up through our vocal folds. The vocal folds vibrate like a string. And then all of a sudden this sound waves come up and they go into our cheekbones and our cheek muscles and our skull. And if everything is really tight, we actually don't resonate as good. But an acoustic guitar that has that opening, right? It is this beautiful resonance, this beautiful vibration. And so the more loose and more relaxed we are, we can vibrate more. We'll have more power and freedom and a lot more beautiful tone. Okay, amazing. Last thing, we're just gonna get into your neck today. So just flip your head to one side. The side that you're leaning towards, I want you to gently get into the sternocleidomastoids, or just the SCMs, this big muscle on the side of your neck that most of us have a lot of tension that we hold there. So breathe. You're crushing it, you're doing amazing. Taking care of your instrument. And then swap sides, same thing. Awesome, so even just a little bit of stretching, you're gonna find more vocal freedom, but we're gonna go into some other things. We're gonna start vocalizing next. We're gonna work out that amazing instrument of yours, so let's do this. All right, awesome humans, so let's warm up that voice by using sound. I want you to grab a straw and a bottle of water because we're gonna actually sing through water. I want you to think of yourself like that athlete, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to create sound through the water, and what it does is it creates a resistance, and that resistance actually massages our throat down, takes away tension in our voice, and sets us up for incredible vocal freedom so we can work an amazing range with very little tension and very little pressure. So it teaches us how to sing really effortlessly. Think about an athlete that's like in a pool and they're going against that resistance training, right? They're building their muscles without any fatigue, where there's a lot of excess pressure or excess potential to kind of push. So you cannot hurt your voice through water. It's a pretty amazing experience. So take that straw, we're gonna do something called a freedom slide. Freedom slide simply means you go up and down your range. So this is your body, your instrument, and you can go wherever you wanna go. So low, high, whatever feels good. So just explore, get a little, like a little kid with me. Let's be a little weird and playful. Singing or music does not have to be serious, right? We play music, so let's just be playful and let's get into it. So we're gonna create a sound freedom slide. So just try a few of those, explore your own range. Think about like low to high, high to low, You could bounce around. But you're gonna start to notice that it's really easy to hit all these spaces in your range, and you're just not really trying too hard. And why is that? Because you're opening up your throat, you're massaging that voice, and you're taking care of it in a really healthy way. So try a few more. I'm gonna start really simple. We're just going to take an octave. We're gonna start on a high note, and we're gonna fall down, slow slide. And what I want you to do is just come in when it feels comfortable. So if this is too high, don't worry. Just come in when you're like, yeah, okay, I think I got this. So starting up here. Awesome. And you might get a shower, you might get splashed all over the place, but that is worth it because you're going to find some amazing vocal freedom from this. So do another vocal freedom slide. Awesome. So just try that out. It's incredible what singing through water does for you. And it's going to feel really weird. It's going to feel interesting, but you're going to start to find this beautiful breath control mixed with tension release. All right, we're just gonna do a couple more things, and then we're gonna go into some breath relaxation and some things we can do to combat anxiety or stage fright or stage adrenaline. So first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna take an arpeggio, and you're just gonna stick your tongue out, so we get to be weird and playful again. You're gonna say the word goo, 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 and your tongue is gonna wanna pull back in, so don't let it. You are an athlete, we're training this muscle forward. When people sing with their tongue in the back of their mouth, kind of sounds really pressed. It sounds a little Kermit the Frog. And if I just sing with and I move my tongue forward, all of a sudden I have all this freedom. So tongue is a super important asset for us as singers. And if it's tense and if it's tight, then you are not gonna have a lot of vocal freedom. So let's try this. Stick your tongue out and say goo, 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 goo. We're here, right? No one's watching you. So just get super weird. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Keep going, you got this. Stick that tongue out. Goo, 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 goo. Keep going. Slow breath. Goo, goo, goo. By yourself. Goo, goo, goo. Some of you can hit lower notes than me. Slow breath in between. Feel that freedom. You're gonna get some beautiful space in your throat from that. And when you think about your vocal folds, let's just think really quickly. There's only so much I can share with you right now. But our vocal folds, when we're singing high notes, they move this way, horizontally. Everyone imagines that high notes are vertical. So they're always thinking, oh, I gotta like reach up for that high note. But that's not how our vocal folds work. Our vocal folds sit in our throat and they actually go this way. So when I'm singing a really high note, or you're singing in your falsetto or your head voice or up high, you are actually moving this way. And when you're singing low notes, it's compressing this way. So I want you to think when you go for those high notes, I want you to think forward, don't think up. And it's crazy how much more freedom we get by just actually analyzing and understanding how the voice works. I'm gonna do one more thing because this is my favorite exercise and it's super silly and you can gain such incredible power and freedom from it. So you're gonna puff your cheeks, you're gonna blow, and you're gonna say the word yeah, and you're not going to open your mouth other than that tiny little hole. So you're gonna go, yeah, 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 yeah. So all of a sudden, there's like this little gremlin in your room with you, and you're like, how is this sound happening out of my body? But what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna train our voice from the back of our throat, which most of you probably just did. We're gonna learn how to throw our voice in the front. Yeah, 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 yeah. And what we do is we start to learn how to sing from the front instead of the throat. And this is incredible for belting, for freedom, for power. So just really quickly, all you're gonna do today is practice being a weirdo, making sound, saying yeah, 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 or saying ta-da, 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 ta-da. And if you're feeling like, I'm kind of getting this, or you do this video a few times and you're starting to build that vocal muscle, all I want you to try is just one round of an arpeggio on a ta-da. All right, so just try that once. So on this foundation athletic video, I thought I would share with you the 3 most interesting things that are gonna release tension, find beautiful range, and also gonna get you some badass, awesome power. But go ahead, be playful, play with that. And we're gonna go into some breath stuff. We're gonna find some relaxation and get you grounded so that when you walk on stage, you're not feeling stressed, but you're feeling empowered. All right, so we're gonna get into some breath and grounding now. So most of us are human and most of us feel some sort of adrenaline, whether it comes in a negative experience or a positive experience before we walk on stage, before we sing at an open mic, before we go into the studio, right? Our heart starts to pound, maybe we get dry mouth, all these different things happen to our body, and that's fine. We're human, we feel things, it actually just means you care. But there are stuff and there are things and tools that you can do to stay relaxed, to stay in your grounding, and to be as prepared as possible to handle that feeling. So even though your mind might be going a little, 25,000 kilometers per hour, thinking about what's gonna happen, what's gonna go wrong, we can calm the body and we can make sure that your voice still shows up for you steady, not shaky, and we can calm your heart rate. So the very simple thing that we're gonna use is breath. It's a beautiful tool, it's important for singing, but it's also important for getting into our parasympathetic nervous system, the nervous system that keeps us calm instead of fight or flight or freak out. So the longer we exhale, our heart slows down. Every time we inhale, our heart speeds up. So if we are taking really shallow breaths, we're gonna get really, really anxious. We might get into our body, we might get some tension going on, and our voice will become shaky. But just do this with me, and we're just gonna get grounded. So I'm sitting cross-legged. You can stand, you can sit, you can be you. Do whatever is good for you, but let's take care of your breath and your body. So take a slow, deep breath in. Release it out. And a lot of singers overthink breathing. So right now, I don't want you to think, is there a right way or a wrong way? I just want you to think, I'm a human and I can breathe. So breathe in again. Nice, release it out. Awesome. We're gonna start a little box breath. So you're gonna take a deep breath in. You're gonna hold that air inside for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it out. Stay empty for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in again. Nice, stay wide, powerful, grounded. You got this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Release it out. Stay empty. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more huge giant breath. Fill. Okay, you got this. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it all. Stay empty for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Nice. Breathe out. And the beauty is that you can do this at the venue. No one needs to know you're stressed. No one needs to know what's going on. But you can do this silently while the other band is playing, while you're going up next, while you're looking for your guitar or your cables or anything. Just slow breath in, hold, then release and hold. And it starts to combat that adrenaline and that stress. And it's pretty a cool kind of like experience that I've seen is one of the artists I work with. She had a big show and she had her Fitbit on and she was really stressed. Her heart rate was like 120 beats per minute, which is pretty fast. And she started doing this breath and then she was doing it while she was like setting up her mic and getting her line check, and she did all the stuff. And then she looked down right before she started to play and her heart rate was 82 beats per minute. So that's a massive difference. We actually do have the potential to get grounded and to combat anxiety. So the more you're warmed up, the more you have been practicing, the more you're taking care of your instrument, and then you start to calm your instrument, you have total control over your experience. And it's okay if your brain says, I can't do this, or I'm stressed. Your body can remain calm and can show up for you. Just like, we always feel better 3 songs in. Well, that's because the whole time you're playing and the whole time you're singing, you're exhaling, so your heart is starting to calm down. So if we get, feeling really good before song 1, we're gonna crush it right away. The last thing for our breath is we're gonna do a little challenge. So you're gonna bring your water back into play, and all we're gonna do is blow through the water like a little kid again, and no sound, just air, and we're gonna go for today, say you're starting out at 30 seconds. In the future, if you try this again, I want you to go for 40, and then 45, and then 55, and then 60, and just become like a really strong athlete with that breath control. All right, so I'm gonna grab my trusty old stopwatch, which is my iPhone, and we're gonna do this together. So take a deep breath in. Nice, release it out. Hold for 4, 3, grab your water, grab your straw, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Amazing. So that might be challenging today. It's the first time you've done that, but just get into that warrior mindset and start to be like, no, I'm an athlete. My instrument is my voice. It is my body. It is my cheeks, my throat, my larynx, my tongue, my lungs, and all of it can 100% be trained, be expanded upon, and you can get better. Singing is 100% trainable. So if you think, can I really get better at singing? You can. This is just part of your body. You weren't born being able to play keys. You weren't born being able to sing like Beyonce, but the more you do it, you can train and you can get pretty freaking amazing. And you can find your own authentic voice, but make it the most free, the most rangy, the most breathy or raspy or bright that you dream of, just by learning how to do the things, all right? So you got this, you're amazing, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of work next, and then I'll see you later. Okay, this last little topic is just about vocal health and vocal hygiene for today. So vocal hygiene simply means how do I keep my voice healthy? How do I take care of it? So reminding you again, you're a vocal athlete, so definitely stretching, warming up, and doing vocal workouts is gonna prep you. But there's other things you can do in your life. Very simply hydrating we need water to be able to have fluidity and flexibility in our vocal folds. And the thing that most people don't realize is that when you drink water, it doesn't touch your vocal folds. So your vocal folds sit in the windpipe. And so say you're about to walk on stage and you're feeling super dehydrated and you're like, I'm just gonna crush some water. Well, that won't actually help. It might make you think it's helping, so do it if it feels good. But the water does not go through the voice because the voice sits in the windpipe. How you hydrate your voice is systemically, meaning your whole system has to be hydrated. So start to make it a habit of drinking, say 3, 4 of these throughout the day, and you're just slowly drinking little bits all the way through the day. Your whole system's gonna be hydrated, and then your instrument is gonna sound awesome. And if you're a touring artist, we live in BC. I know this is for BC artists, so you're in this beautiful space where there's a lot of hydration in the atmosphere, you're feeling pretty good. But if you go into the prairies or you go into the desert, you go to LA, you're gonna feel a very different experience. So if you can keep hydrating, keep that body nice and in a space of feeling free, you're gonna have so much better experience when you're singing. So don't just crush water right before the show. Make it a lifestyle. Another thing you can do is you can get a nebulizer. So that's a really nerdy, fancy word for this little buddy. Kind of looks like an inhaler. And what goes in it is something called isotonic saline solution. And that's just the solution or the liquid that actually our mucous membranes or our vocal folds and other parts of our body are made up of. So it topically hydrates your voice. And if you have not been the greatest hydrator, the nice thing about this is you just breathe it in for like 10 minutes and immediately it hydrates your vocal folds. It only lasts about 30 to 60 minutes, but if you're on tour or if you're headed into the studio or all of a sudden you're super dry, it's a really beautiful tool to keep you hydrated for that show that's about to happen or that studio vocal kind of tracking experience that you're about to go through, all right? Or karaoke, or whatever is your jam. Another thing about vocal hygiene that's really important is steaming. So if you have a really dry nasal passage, if you have allergies, if there's different things going on and you feel like your throat or your nose is stuffed, steaming is a really beautiful thing to do. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to go to a steam room. You don't even need a professional steamer. You can do the, musician special, and that is literally just boil some water, put it in a bowl, put your towel over your head, and breathe in for 10 minutes. And you're gonna hydrate the upper passage of your voice. Then another thing that's super important, and I know this is so challenging when you're a musician, when you're a vocalist, but it's getting sleep. So please just try to sleep. And if you don't, try to rest your body. Just take care of your health. And the last little thing, which I know is like a topic, and whenever I'm working with artists, this is your life, this is you, you be you. But smoking anything, like inhaling anything, does immediately impact the vocal folds. So if there's other ways that you can just do your thing and live your lifestyle, but if you can please try to not inhale, don't smoke pot, all of that stuff immediately does fry up those vocal folds. And we've put cameras down people's throats and we've seen it. So there are ways to keep you healthy, and there's all these different things. I also get asked a lot, like, what about drinking right before stage? So drinking does dehydrate you. Make sure you're hydrating, you're combating things. And just know that all of this is just tools that can keep you healthy. So vocal hygiene, it's a thing. And if you do want a really long, sustainable, healthy career, think about your instrument. It's your body, and it's all balance. And so maybe that day of your show or the day that you're tracking, you're not just getting all crazy, but you're taking care of that part of you, all right? So vocal health, super important. Let's get into what your takeaways are and what your homework is. All right, so let's wrap this up. So if you can walk away with anything, it's number one, you're a vocal athlete. Your instrument is muscle, and muscles can be trained, they can be rehabilitated, they can be expanded upon. You can do things that will make your range more expansive. You can find vocal freedom. You can find any color. If you want rasp, you can do that. If you want clarity, you can do that. If you want resonance, you can. And there are amazing tools and workouts out there to be able to figure out how to do that healthily. Also, a really big important thing when you are a vocalist is to keep you healthy and to prevent injury, right? We use our instrument so much, and our instrument never gets put in a case. We use it to order coffee. We use it to talk to our friends. We use it while we are on tour all day long, and then you still have to use it at night. So I want you to think about, okay, if I do these things, my voice is gonna be more sustainable, it's gonna be healthier, and I'm going to be able to do the things that I dream for my next record or my next single or my next live show or my first live show. So just think, the voice is totally something that can be trained, it can be expanded upon, and it can be built. I want you to also think, yes, my body is my instrument, so how do I keep it healthy? How do I make choices that do help me do the best that I can, okay? Your call to action right now is to practice this video more than once, right? We go to the gym and we lift weights once, we're not gonna see a difference. But if you go to the gym 3 times a week, you're gonna start to see shifts and growth. So this is not a one-time thing that you're gonna do and get away with and be like, I am an amazing vocal athlete now. No, I want you to go work out that voice. I want you to try this a few times. And a really cool kind of like test you could do is like record yourself on your phone, sing something, verse and chorus. Do this for 2 weeks, 3, 4 times a week. Record it again, notice a difference. Do it for 30 days, notice a difference. So train like a badass athlete. Know that your voice already matters. Anyone can sing, and that you totally got this, all right? Hope you have a wonderful day. All the love. This is Carol-Lynne Quinn, or you can call me CQ, and thanks for coming to Music BC's Jumpstart Foundation Masterclass.